The rain pounds down on the concrete outside a dance academy in Berlin. A woman approaches the entrance. Cut! That's practically it, guys. That's practically all that the remake has in common with the 1977 original Suspiria. So in my eyes, the remake for Suspiria is not a remake at all, but instead it's inspired by. Sure, we do have the same named characters, such as Sarah, this time played by Mia Goth, who I love, Olga, Miss Tanner, Marcos, Madame Blanc, can't forget her, and of course, Susie. But subplots and a shift of direction comes into play as a movie that was originally known as a stylized slasher turns more into a war-driven storyline with chilling conclusions. If you're new here, I'm Emma. Yes, I'm Australian, can you tell? And my channel is dedicated to bringing you spoiler-free fun so you know what to watch next. I also do a lot of deep dive interviews and analysis into the horror community. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, feel free to hit subscribe and also hit the bell so you get the notifications. But let's talk about one of my most anticipated films of the year, the 2018 remake of Suspiria. Spoiler free. If you haven't seen the original, let me break it down for you very quickly. The film is about an American dancer, Susie, who attends a German ballet academy that doubles almost as a boarding school. After some grisly deaths, Susie and her friend Sarah begin to suspect something more sinister is happening within the school. The thing about the original Suspiria is that the stylization is overwhelming in the best possible way. Argento heightened the horror with extreme lighting with blues, reds, and pinks. Every scene was like neon torture porn, and the scenes were dramatic, from the iconic hallway to the smashing of the glass. And of course, that cherry blood red that we have grown to love in all giallo films. But the film was even more exaggerated by the soundtrack performed by Goblin. All of this mixed together made the film one of the most iconic, or if not, in my opinion, the most iconic Italiana horror film of all time. Big claim, right? Flash forward to 2018 and Susie is back again. This time she is attending a German, let's just say it's contemporary dance. I want to say contemporary dance school, which again, this academy also has housing for the dancers. But this time, she's a mysterious runaway from a small religious family in America. Upon her arrival, she somehow lands her dream opportunity. But when Susie grows a tight bond with Tilda Swinton's nightmarish character, Madame Blanc, she gets more than she bargained for. But wait, there's more. The 2018 remake also involves the subplot of Dr. Joseph Campera, a grieving psychotherapist widower who is trying to find out the truth about the dance academy and its psychological damage on his clients. And let's just get into this while we're here. I know that you guys want to talk about this. It is no secret who plays this character. Tilda Swinton came out and confessed that she plays 3 characters in the 2018 remake. One being Madame Blanc and another one being Dr. Campera himself. But why, you ask? Because the character is haunted by the death of his wife, which keeps him from moving on. So in Tilda Swinton's words themselves, he is played by a woman. And no, this is not a spoiler. This acting gig has nothing to do with the storyline. It's just a detail that was brought to light a couple of weeks before the premiere. But let's talk about the movie itself. The storyline is forever winding. It is so much more intricate and intricate than the direct, simple, original idea. Woman goes to school, something seems not right, she finds out why it's not right. The 2018 film follows the pivotal background of the main characters and the details surrounding the mother herself. For those who are fans of the original, you will be tickled by some very chilling scenes. There's the spooky, the sinister, and the downright strange. Tickle with a sickle. Wait for it, you'll know what I'm talking about. And then there's a scene that everyone was talking about it, and let me just say, it is as gory and as intense as you ever hoped for. Perhaps my favorite part of this movie is those gore scenes that just go on a little bit longer than you're comfortable with, leaving you with no place to hide. One thing we all knew about the 2018 remake before it came out was that the color palette was left in the 70s. The film is more true to the 70s vibe, dull textures, browns, and beiges. But the film does use some 70s Italiana camera work, including some zooms and external shots that are usually cut out of modern cinema. Something that was also cut out was the score. I know, right? Tom York, my love. Radiohead is my favorite band. Do not get me wrong. Tom York did indeed compose a chilling soundtrack, but it was drowned out by the action of the film. And maybe this is my fault, maybe deep down I was expecting him to do his own version of what Goblin did, but it just wasn't very strong. This film seemed to strip away all of the theatrics from the original film and replace it with a complex story of nightmarish realities and cold hard truths. And it was truly beautiful in an unexpected way. And the acting shone, with everyone, particularly being Dakota Johnson, who was remarkable. But I have to do this, guys. With all the good, there is the bad. And I'm gonna have to ask you to lower your expectations just a notch. Because when it's bad in this film, it's undigestible. I know I have covered the lack of stylization within this film, but let me tell you, there are some parts, just little sequences that are stylized, and in my opinion, not in a good way. They're out for the shock, but they leave you with the horror of the worst kind. Red lights, trailing slow motion that is filmed in the wrong frame rate to give this choppy effect that just seems just unnecessary. There's strange special effects and CGI, and it's just a lot, and so day to night with what we've seen throughout the rest of the film. These scenes are very confusing, and they produce more than you want to see and more than you have to see. And if I was to call it anything, I would say it's quite extra. And as I said, it was like day to night comparing these scenes to the other scenes in the film, which is what it's like comparing this movie to the original. This is a different movie altogether. It's like The Train to Busan meets The Walking Dead. There's still zombies, but it's a bit of a different journey. But with all the bad in the film, I want to express to you guys, I woke up the next morning still being haunted. This movie really lingers on you. And if I was to describe this movie in simple terms, it made me feel unsafe, yet curious, which I think was its intention. I'm gonna give this movie a 7 out of 10 for personal score, a scare score of 6 out of 10, and an originality score, what? 6 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed this spoiler-free review. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out. There's gonna be a lot of talk about this film. People are gonna love it. People are gonna hate it, but that's horror. And with that, I'll see you guys very soon. Stay spooky. Bye.